quadrupled their offer, which was just fine in Travis's book. The insurance companies don't play fair. They aren't going to do the right thing out of the goodness of their hearts, so you don't ever have to feel guilty when calling 303-LAW-4040. If you've been injured, we'll make them pay what's fair. And as always, you always talk directly with me or my lovely wife, Kimberly. So save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303-LAW-4040. That's 303-LAW-4040.
Cake Mortgage Corp. Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 1734623. Licensed in Colorado by the Division of Real Estate. Terms and conditions apply. These days, we expect everything fast. Streaming, food delivery, even same-day shipping. So why should using the equity in your home to get cash be any different? At Cake Mortgage, we get fast. We just got a client approved for $300,000 in under 24 hours with our Cake Fast Cash program. If you're struggling with high-interest debt, roll it into one low monthly payment and save hundreds or more each month. The best part? You'll keep your current mortgage rate and only pay for what you use. Cake Mortgage. Your fresh-baked fast cash loan is ready to enjoy. So don't wait. Call 1-800-EAT-CAKE. That's 1-800-EAT-CAKE. Again, that's 1-800-EAT-CAKE or visit cakehome.com. To learn more now.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Spine One. Let me ask you a question. You live with back pain, neck pain. Well, my guys at Spine One, they're an emergency room for back pain with same-day appointments. They'll see you and they'll get the journey started. And that's exactly what I did. Whether it's chronic pain, acute pain, work-related, sports-related, doesn't matter. All you got to do is pick up the phone and start your journey just like I did toward pain-free. 303-367-2225. That's 303-367-BACK. Or as always, you can find them online at SpineOne.com.
Vanity Fair calls BritBox a delicious streamer. Collider says everyone should be watching. Catch Britain's next best series with BritBox. Stream acclaimed new originals like Code of Silence.
You read lips, right?
And Linley, based on the best-selling mystery series.
Say hi, Linley. Take it from here.
And don't miss the new season of Karen Piri, coming this October.
You don't look like police.
I'll take that as a compliment.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox. Watch with a free trial today.
Let's go! You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 720-459-HAIR, AdvancedHair.com.
International Hot Rod Association and Durana Hybrid, where the roar of the engine meets the torque of the wrench. Building champions on the track and in the trades. Get your tickets at IHRA.com.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver.
You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Welcome to Denver Sports Tonight. Taking a look at the biggest stories in Denver sports. From your online home for the best opinions and information on the Broncos, Nuggets, Avalanche, Rockies, and more. DenverSports.com.
And it is Denver Sports Tonight on this Thursday night in Mile High City. He's Marcello Romano. I'm Will Peterson. We will roll with you for the next hour as Broncos and Eagles gets closer and closer. Cello, obviously that's where we will begin. Heard from Sean Payton, Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton, and Pat Surtain today down there at Broncos Park. Powered by Common Spirit. Quinn Miner's not out there with an illness. Sean seemed to dismiss that as he'll be fine. We'll get into it all over the next hour, but I want to start with something I brought up to Zach and Phil at the end of the drive. You and I, we went through the schedule time and time again when it came out in May. This is a game we had circled for quite some time, but also circled in the sense of, well, that's probably a loss. Okay, what's next? Now that it's here, are you giving the Broncos a puncher's chance against the 4-0 Eagles this weekend?
I don't know why I feel this way, Will, but I actually feel
pretty good about their chances. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go out and we'll give a prediction before we get off, but I do think they have a chance to win this game. One, because I get it. When we saw that name on the schedule back in May, what did we revert back to? Well, the last time that other team or that opponent was on a football field, they were dismantling the Kansas City Chiefs to bring home a Super Bowl championship. So I think a lot of us get caught up with that, and the Eagles didn't look like they changed that much in the offseason. So you would think that momentum would carry over to the next season. It hasn't, but they've still found ways to win. But that's what championship teams do. I just don't think it's as much of a task as what we thought going into it when we first saw it, or even a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's interesting you say it that way, because even the most optimistic of folks, like myself, like Cecil Lammy, who picked the Broncos 12-5, 13-4, we all just said, well, that's a loss. Like, I feel like we didn't really break down Broncos and Eagles when the schedule dropped. And now that the game is so close, you do look at it, and the Eagles have won all 4 of their games by 1 possession. They were remarkably, I guess, skilled, but also an element of luck to escape the Rams, blocking a field goal at the buzzer and turning it the other way and messing up everyone's spread. Heck, they could have lost to the Cowboys on opening night. Dallas went in there and gave them a scare. But to me, that's the fundamental difference here. And I like your optimism. I like Zach and Phil's optimism. But one of these teams knows how to win. And I'm not sure the other one does, at least not quite yet, because in their 2 close games this season, the Broncos have not only lost them, they frankly have gagged them. And in the Eagles' close games, what have they done? They've played like champions. They've emerged victorious, much like Mahomes and the Chiefs always seem to find a way to do. So that, to me, is if it's tied in the fourth quarter, we're all going to be on the edge of our seat. I get it. We're all going to be standing up yelling at our TV. But even the most diehard Broncos fan isn't going to sit there and go, oh, we got this, because recent history shows us, in fact, they don't got it. So they got to find a way to prove me wrong.
Let me take you back to Monday night. Did something change within the Denver Broncos as a team on Monday night?
No, because the opponent was just so bad. I like the way they played. Don't get me wrong.
If Joe Burrow plays in that game, is the result the same?
Certainly not 28-3.
No, but I mean, it's getting a victory.
I don't know. Joey B is pretty darn good. You could tell me that game's 31-28 or 28-24.
I tell you what, like I didn't like the way they looked when they started the other night. Jake Browning led that team right down. They got 3 points. Now, I know that the Broncos came back and answered. But if that penalty where they called the false start on the Bengals was different, when he moved his head too quick.
And Jonah Ellis got very lucky on that play. I like Jonah Ellis, but he was offside.
I didn't like the way that game started. Now, they figured it out. So I guess I'm asking you is, did something change, and was that kind of the turning point? Because even within that game, that seems where it kind of changed when they got that call reversed, because when you saw it live, you're like, come on, dude. We just talked about it all week about extending drives for your opponents, being better procedurally. These are the frustrations that Sean Payton has had, and it happened again, but they lucked out of it. And then the game kind of flipped on its head at that point. But early, I was like, they're going to keep targeting Riley Moss, and they're going to keep getting penalties on it. And for them to be what we thought was going to be a very, very good defense early in that game. Now, I know they flipped it around, and it looked great for the rest of it. I'm just talking about maybe the first 12 to 15 minutes of that game. Didn't love how it started.
No, first quarter wasn't a lot of fun as a Broncos fan. I even tweeted it at the time of, how do you not have the guys ready to go in this atmosphere, this crowd, this stadium, coming off back-to-back gut-wrenching losses? And, yeah, they turned it all around. You're right. But I think we're kind of on the same page, is that you're not telling me you learned a ton from the Bengals game. You sort of chalk that up as to they beat a bad team. So that's why I said to you, hey, if they're tied in the fourth quarter, I'm not going to sit here and tell my buddies, hey, we got this, because quite frankly, under Sean Payton and Bo Nix, it's almost always gone the other way. You think of the heartbreaking Kansas City last year as well. They haven't found a way to close a close game. And if they can do that this weekend, maybe it's that hump. Sean Payton, it's not my hump. Well, this is your hump. Maybe it's that hump this team finally needs to get over to show they can not only play with the big dogs, because they have proven they can play with the big dogs, but they haven't proven they can beat the big dogs.
Well, it's interesting you should say that, and you bring up the game last year, because I think that was the one time in a close game it looked like they had learned how to win, because when Bo got the ball back late in that Kansas City game, that last drive that he put together was perfect.
It was awesome.
It was.
They ran the entire clock out. Mahomes wasn't going to touch the ball.
Everything you were supposed to, and then you got beat because special teams had missed an assignment. Where on the flip side, if you go back 2 weeks ago in that Charger game, when When the Broncos got the ball late in that game, they looked clunky. Dante and I talked about this last week. They looked clunky on offense, like they didn't know what they wanted to do, like these plays were unfamiliar to them. And then on the flip side, Justin Herbert gets the ball back, and they were doing their 2-minute was like on point, just snap. Know exactly where they want to go with the football, how they want to exploit the defense, and that was the big difference. Now, it's interesting what a week can change in the NFL. LA goes out to New York and loses to Jackson Dart and the Giants, who were winless on the season. The Broncos beat up on what I think most people would think was a pretty decent team minus a great quarterback. You should have won that game. I don't think anyone had fear that the Broncos were going to lose that game. So now you build that confidence. You head into the world champions home, and they haven't looked all that good this year. So I feel comfortable saying it's going to be a game. I don't foresee like a blowout by any means.
I've brought this up a couple times, but I'll tell you now and get your reaction. This, to me, feels like Baltimore last year. This to me, just feels like a game.
They're going to be pressed, and they're going for it on fourth down in the first quarter.
They're going for it a little too early. Bo's throwing the ball 40 to 45 times because they get down, and Sean panics, and he abandons the run. And when we all look up at 2 o'clock on Sunday, the Eagles have won 31-10. That's sort of the vibe I feel like going into this game because, let's be honest, what do the Eagles need as well? It's weird to say it for a 4-0 team, but they need a quote-unquote get-right game. I mean, look at A.J. Brown causing all this drama in the world. Devontae Smith not putting up huge numbers. Saquon Barkley having a good year, but certainly not a year like he had last year. Don't you feel like the Eagles are going to look at this as we were talking about Broncos wanting to win with style points last week? Don't you think Philly wants to win this game with style points? They don't just want the dub. They want to show everyone that the train is back on the tracks.
Man, but then you start pressing, I think, if you're in that. I think it's interesting that you're comparing it to Baltimore last year. One, because we had a rookie quarterback, and that was like, hey, this team's a Super Bowl contending team. And you could tell early that things were different for the Broncos that day. They went for it early. They end up scoring on fourth down when you're doing like a quarter. You're having your wide receiver throw a touchdown pass to your quarterback.
Yeah, Bo caught the first touchdown.
Trig plays to get it all done. So I don't really see that. And listen, I think Philadelphia has been trying to win that style thing all year long. It's just for whatever reason, they're not clicking like they were last year, and certainly not clicking like they were in the postseason.
Right, but again, they know how to win. They know how to win. And a team with that much talent on paper, at some point they're going to have a laugher or two. They just are. They're the Eagles. They're going to win 13 or 14 games. And guess what? 5 or 6 of those wins are going to be by double digits. They don't have one yet. I'm just hoping that the first one doesn't come against the Broncos.
You don't think that being down 19-6 at home and looking completely putrid against the Rams and then coming back and putting the second half together was more of a signature win for them than if they were to beat the Broncos?
It was a signature win in the sense of they rallied and they dug themselves out of a hole that they had built themselves, but it wasn't a signature win in the sense of they didn't do it from start to finish. And my fear is if they start fast, and what have the Broncos done? They've started slow all year.
Yep.
Started slow all year.
Which is crazy because of the emphasis they put on having a fast start.
Exactly. What did we hear about all summer? I just worry if the Broncos are down 10-0 or 14-0 that this game could get out of hand. I think by the time the first quarter ends on Sunday, real quick, by the time the first quarter ends on Sunday, you will know if the Broncos have a puncher's chance. I'm going to make a judgment that early in that football game. It's either going to be tied or the Broncos are going to have a small lead and you're going to say, buckle in, let's go, or they're going to be down 10 or 14-0 and you're going to go, well, this is going to be a long day.
Yeah, well, I can get them. If it's 14-0 at the end of the first quarter, I agree with you. It could get ugly. I don't foresee it happening. And I think going with what you did last week, Denver's been pretty dang. I know we've been real critical here, but you lost 2 games where you didn't trail in the fourth quarter until you did, as time expired.
Clock read zeros.
So you're you're looking at, and I know you could do the flip side of like this team should be 4-0. And people on the other side, well, yeah, they could be, 1-3 if, Joe Burrow doesn't get hurt. We're not playing that game, but I think they've been competitive with everybody. And I like what you guys said at the end of the drive as far as him being a motivational wizard kind of. Because if you go back and you watch
and him being Sean Payton.
Yes, Sean Payton. If you go back and you watch the Buffalo playoff game, when they throw and score that first touchdown to Franklin deep and the camera pans to Sean Payton, he looked like he was, told you, gotcha. Like he felt like they were going to go on and have a much better day. And he said as much after the game that they should have been much more competitive, thought they were going to be. But these are the kind of challenges he lives for. Like, hey, I want to go into the defending world champion's house and see what we have and how we stack up against them. It will be interesting, though, to watch him with how he calls the game early. Because if he starts doing some of those things that he did in Baltimore last year, then it tells you he doesn't really believe that you're at that. You're going to have to do something extraordinary to win this game. Which if you listen to like Dover and Cecil today, they're talking like the Eagles are still that team that beat up on the Chiefs, which they're just not. They're not.
All right, well, you mentioned going into Philly, why the Eagles are so good at home. Something like 15-1, 16-1 in their last season full of home games, and Sean Payton talked about that today.
I think, I've said this before, generally speaking, the really good teams probably play well at home. Follow me? And then the teams that aren't as good probably don't play as consistently well at home. So I think it's the chicken before. It's a hard place to play, but it's a good team. It's a Super Bowl champion. It's not unusual to have a home stretch like that. It's not unusual if you look at the Super Bowl champions in the past, for that team to have won all their home games. That's not unusual. So I think it's a credit to the team and the organization, and then couple that with a tough environment, and you got what you got. You know, you have a Lombardi trophy, and you have confidence and all those other things.
All right, so you got a chuckle out of Sean saying it's the chicken before you didn't finish it.
Sometimes he doesn't finish all of them. I also didn't get what he said. If you play it again, he says, follow me at some point.
Yeah, he's like, you follow me?
Like it was like you remember the Sham Wow guy, the commercial, like follow me, cameraman. Like as if he was walking with somebody. Like,
is that Billy Mays?
No, it was the other dude.
Billy Mays. Rest well, Billy Mays. Yes. He was great. But you're right, the kind of little hyped up TV guy. Yeah.
Yes.
The dude who basically followed Billy
Follow
Mays.
me, yes.
He said, follow me to the camera. You know what he was telling the reporter to follow me on? What he was trying to get at with the whole chicken and the egg thing was teams just don't become good at home. Good teams win at home because they're good. Mm-hmm. He's sort of dismissing this notion of Philly's this impossible place to play. Yes, he's giving their fans credit. He's giving the atmosphere credit. But I think what he's telling you is you make the Tennessee Titans a great football team, then Nashville's going to become a really hard place to play. It's more so about the quality of the opponent as opposed to the physical location on earth that you're playing them.
Yeah, but Philly's a little bit different than most.
They're nuts.
It's just a tad different. It's like when the Raiders were in Oakland, even when they weren't good, going into the black hole was just a little different. You're talking about a place where they're famous for throwing snowballs at Santa Claus.
And booing him.
And having a jail in their old stadium.
I don't remember that part.
You know?
Me, yeah.
Yeah. There's so many fights, I think, in Philly games that they had like almost like a court system below the stadium. Maybe I'm making that up. Maybe it's like the city below DIA, and it's all just made up.
Well, they're like, we're not going to take you to the Slammer.
Yes.
We don't have the resources. We're just going to take you downstairs.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's like a Vegas casino. You don't want to end up downstairs in a Vegas casino. Something didn't go right if that happens. Do you think Philly is the most intimidating place to play in the NFL right now, or would you still give that edge to Arrowhead, maybe Seattle, just because of how loud it is every year? No doubt, though, this is going to be one of the toughest environments, and I get he played at Auburn, I get he played at Oregon. This is going to be one of the toughest environments Bo Nix has had to play in his entire life.
Yeah, I agree. I think behind probably Kansas City, just because of proximity, Kansas City, like the crowd is right on top of the players. So not only is it loud and obnoxious, and over the past, almost decade now, they've been very, very good. I mean, they crazy crowds when they were just, trying to get into the postseason. But yeah, Philly's a little bit different, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I mean, I think that's a great question. Well, is there any place that's really like that within the NFL anymore?
No, there's certainly college environments that are like that, but I don't think there's a ruthlessness that exists in the NFL like it does in Philadelphia. Like, put it this way. If you were wearing a Broncos jersey and you walked into 30 stadiums, Broncos versus Team X, like if you walked into Jacksonville with a Broncos jersey on, I don't think you'd be too worried about it. I think you'd be joined by 20,000 other people in orange.
Yes, we know it's like that in L.A., too.
Same if you did it in Atlanta.
So what you're telling me is if you went to the game this weekend, you ain't sporting your gear.
No. Oh, no. I think it takes real stones to walk into any Eagles game with the opponent's team jersey on. And it's not just reserved for the Giants and the Cowboys. They hate everyone.
Yeah.
Like if you walked into this game on Sunday with a Bo Nix jersey on, I'm not saying you'd get punched in the face, but the verbal abuse, the verbal abuse would be Ryder Cup-esque. It would be through the roof.
I've never been to Philadelphia.
I have. I've seen the Bell. It's a little underwhelming.
Okay.
You wait in line for like a half hour, and then you get up there, and you're like, it's a bell with a crack in it. All right, glad I did it. The old Liberty Bell. Here with Sean Payton today on sort of what Cello and I have talked about a bunch, the Eagles knowing how to win, specifically in one-score games.
Listen, we just talked about it. They're doing a great job with the turnover ratio. I think they've only given the ball away one time in the first 4 weeks. They're taking it away. Their special teams, they have the blocked punt last week, the blocked field goal, blocked extra point against the Rams. So all three phases are doing a good job, and that's one of the reasons they're the champion.
I love him bringing up all the blocked kicks the Eagles have had thus far. I know it's not the same special teams duo as it was in Kansas City last year with old Katwika and Westhoff. But it's now the Riz man. It's Darren Rizzi.
The Broncos. They've already failed on that front this season.
He's been terrible. He's not been a good hire. It looks more and more like Sean Payton hired his boy than hired the best special teams candidate. But I'll give you a little peek behind radio. This is labeled Payton Cut 1. Cut 1. So that means it was either the first or second question of his press conference today. And what's he already bringing up? Block kicks, block field goals, returns for touchdowns. I guarantee you that Sean spends time with Rizzi every week because he needs to. I think he's spending extra time with him this week.
Well, he better be.
They cannot lose this game because of special teams.
2 of your heartbreaking losses that you've had in the last year, one occurred on the road in Arrowhead in a game that you should have had. And then the one in Indianapolis where, is it a ticky-tack call? Yeah, but you got to be aware of it. It seems like sometimes, and I like that he's focused on it because sometimes he's so focused on primarily offense.
Bo.
And how that's kind of working that you may overlook some of the minute details that really matter when it comes to the special teams game. I was talking to Phil earlier about it. He said that'll be what kind of decides the game. Is how good the Eagles have been early and what the Broncos do against the Eagles on Sunday.
How much do you buy into this short week thing? Obviously, it was a laugher in the second half against Cincy, but Sean pushed everything back a day. He almost always has them practice on Wednesday when they play a Sunday game. Didn't. Players' day off. Today, their first day back on the field. We'll find out probably tomorrow whether they're flying to Philly tomorrow night, do the whole 2 days thing, or going on Saturday morning. How much do you put on the... Man, I really wish we had the Eagles on a full week rest rather than the late game.
I don't put that much into it.
It wasn't really a doubleheader on Monday night, but they were still the second game. The guys didn't get home till midnight probably. Just rest, recovery, all that. You sound like you don't buy into it.
No, and I think it's early enough in the season that it should be less. I guess it won't affect the players as much as it would, say, if this was like week 13 or 14, where you've already been through the grind for that many months on end by now. And I've seen too many examples of one time you would see a team play on Thursday and they get housed and they'd say, oh, it's because they had the short week. And other times where you think they played really bad on a Sunday and you're like, oh, we don't want to have the short week. And teams go out and play well on a Thursday or Saturday, late in the season. So I don't think it matters that much.
Yeah, I don't buy it that much either, just because the game against Cincy was so relaxed. The fans were relaxed. The players were relaxed. What is it, Zach Taylor? Zach Taylor looked like he was ready to get on the bird and go home about midway through the third quarter. He flat out quit in that game.
Jamar Chase said as much.
Yeah.
Like they didn't want to be out there.
They were done. So the Broncos didn't get, I get it, they still played in an NFL game, but they didn't get as beat up as you normally would playing 60 minutes of professional football. Here was Sean Payton on playing a tough team on a short week.
I think the message is really the recovery and the focus on, getting ourselves physically and mentally ready to play a game. And so, outside of the team understands the quality opponent, they understand they're 4-0, all those things they're well aware of. So, crowd noise is going to be important. It is typically when we're playing on the road normally.
Normally. Even more so this week. Rest and recovery, all that. It's funny, though. You say, I'd take more stock into this if it was week 13 or week 14.
Yeah.
What did Sean do last year? He opted into a short week in week 14.
That was what you said. A couple dozen questionable things that have happened over these 3 years. Maybe you said 2 dozen, 3 dozen. That's one of them.
Yeah, that's certainly on the list. Playing a Chargers team on a Thursday night on the road voluntarily didn't exactly make a ton of sense. In terms of this specific Sunday for the Broncos, who's a guy on offense, who's a guy on defense that's on your radar that maybe isn't Bo Nix or Nick Bonito?
So offensively, I think I want to see Troy Franklin get back on track.
He looked so good in Indy, but it was just a little bit of a flash.
And then not so good the following week. And then last week we had a recurrence of the dropsies, man. So it's like if he's going to put himself up there, and when he looks good, he looks really good. It's never been a problem about getting open. Last year was a lot about chemistry and timing. The other night was a little frustrating to see some of the drops. Those are plays that he has to make. So I'll look for a bounce back, effort out of Troy Franklin there. And then defensively, gosh, man, the Eagles have so many weapons, and I think it's going to come down to Riley Moss again, dude.
I know. It always feels like it's Riley Moss, doesn't it?
And they're going to, and they're for good reason. They're going to stay away from the Defensive Player of the Year, and they're going to go after someone who has been pretty dang good, but still, he's not Pat Surtain.
It's just funny to me, like if you dabble in the daily fantasy or the weekly fantasy, it just feels like a Hammer Devontae Smith type week. It just does, because PS2 is going to be all over A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown's going to have another cryptic tweet after this game, because guess what? It doesn't take losses for A.J. Brown to be mad. He posted 2 days after the Super Bowl that he didn't even feel like a champion because he didn't catch enough balls. Last week he's lamenting after a victory over the Buccaneers. I think PS2 is going to lock him down, but you go Riley Moss. That was my mind on defense as well. But on offense, I'll give you a different player, and it's a guy that I don't know what's going on. And Phil said something at 5:20 today that really got my antennas up. Evan Ingram. Because Phil is a former player. People have to understand this. And I love all former players, but some of them were just in locker rooms. And some of them haven't been in locker rooms for 30 years. Phil was just in a locker room a couple of years ago in the NFL. Dozens and dozens, frankly, hundreds and hundreds of guys that Phil played with are still in this league. And Phil said into a hot mic on these airwaves, and I'm paraphrasing, but this is what he said, more or less, Evan Ingram himself can't understand why his snap count is so low. Phil's not saying that for attention. He's not saying it as a hot take. He's just saying it because clearly someone in that Broncos room, whether it be a player or a coach, told Philip Lindsay that Ingram is a little bit baffled by his role. He's my guy on offense. You paid him all this money for games against really good teams. The Eagles certainly qualify that. I need to see Evan Ingram have, 7 catches for 65 yards and a tutty this weekend. I want something like that out of my high-priced free agent tight end.
Oh, I'd love for that to happen, but do you think it's more so? I mean, it's just Mike Evans has been talking about it all week, about the usage, the percentage of snaps that he's even out on the field for. How do you get into a rhythm if this was going to be – he was one of the most exciting acquisitions to me because we've been starved for a tight end that actually had any semblance of like what the tight end has become in the National Football League over the last 15, 25 years, and it's been very disappointing. Now, I know he's had some issues health-wise, but he was back full last week. It still just seems like I thought it was by design in the preseason that we didn't get to see it. Now, I heard everybody talking about who was out at practice. Oh, well, you're going to see something different in game time.
Sure.
You may not see it in these preseason games. We still haven't seen it. So I'm with you. It's like, what's going on?
Well, what do you make of Phil reporting more or less that Ingram himself doesn't even know what's going on? He himself is confused by his lack of, like you said, Evans talking about the snap counts, which are consistently in the high 30s, low 40 percentage-wise.
That's a problem.
It scares me. I agree with you.
That's a problem.
If Ingram himself is going, I came here to play, and this dude Adam Troutman, Nate Atkins, Lucas Kroll before last week are all playing as much or more than me, that's a good recipe to have a locker room go sour because even the player himself is unaware of why his snap count is so low. And don't we
always praise Sean Payton for schematically what he does offensively? A couple weeks ago on the missed long throws, it was, the scheme was there. He drew it up perfectly. They just were a little bit off. Why don't we have anything where it looks like they're trying to schematically get the ball into his hands?
That's a good question. I don't have an answer for
Like,
it.
there's more of effort to get it into Marvin Mims last week.
Oh, yeah. And Troy.
And you saw that
Portland,
last year, too.
And Adam.
So that's why I was excited going into the season. We just yet to see it yet.
We have yet to see it indeed. All right, coming up next, we heard from Bo Nix today, and I thought his best answer was about the running game. We all love the running game. What's the QB the Broncos think? You'll hear it.
Changes are coming at 20th and Blake. The Rockies announced that Bill Schmidt is stepping down as general manager, and the team will begin an immediate search for a replacement. Will an external candidate give Colorado a much-needed fresh perspective? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity, and the other day I'm over at a friend's place. He's pumped to watch football, but his setup, total mess. Lagging, buffering, switching between apps, trying to find a game. He claimed to be a big fan, but I feel like I was being fan-fished. See, if you call yourself a football fan, you gotta have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I can find the best games and my favorite teams all in one place. And the way I watch, well, it's next level. It's the perfect fan flex. I've got all the action right in my living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear it feels like I'm in the stadium. Sometimes I've got 4 games going on at once. Why? Because why not? On top of that, I get real-time notifications, live stats right on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every single time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K cable TV box.
Catch Telestrator Tuesday weekly on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, where Stink or Stoke dive into the past weekend's games with a coach's eye, using insights into what went right and wrong on critical plays. Telestrator Tuesdays, powered by Colorado Credit Union. Love where you live, love where you bank.
Heads up, pros. Now's your chance to unlock deeper savings. The Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred pricing can help you save thousands on the products your business uses the most. But the current benefit ends November 15th. Don't miss out. Registration for the new program is free and easy. Just bring your tax ID or business or contractor's license to the Pro Desk. Register now to lock in the best wholesale prices before it's too late.
Wow, Leslie, your fireplace really sucks.
I beg your pardon?
Well, what I mean is your fireplace is literally sucking all the air out of your house and right up the chimney every time you burn it.
Well, what can I do about it?
Well, you could get a high-efficiency gas insert from Cozy Heat. It keeps all the air you already pay the utility company to heat, and it returns up to 80% of the fire's heat back into your house.
I'd use my fireplace every chance I get if I could do that. Maybe my furnace wouldn't need to run so much.
Well, that's the whole point. Hi, this is Keith Lair with Lair Fireplace and Patio, along with my niece Leslie, to tell you how a gas insert from Cozy Heat will give you the incentive to use your fireplace again. Cozy Heat gas fireplaces and inserts are made to crank out the heat with beauty and style.
Lair's is Denver's oldest, most trusted name in fireplaces. Family owned and operated since 1954.
We'll even give you a free in-home quote, including expert installation by our own certified in-house installers.
Find us on the web at lairfireplacepatio.com.
For top quality Cozy Heat fireplaces and inserts, it's Lair Fireplace and Patio, Denver's fireplace experts.
Hey, Stokely here, and let me tell you, fall golf is the best golf Colorado has to offer, and it's not too late to get fully dialed in for the last few months of the season. At Embers Golf in Westminster, they're not just selling golf clubs, they're crafting a journey for golf lovers like you. It's a boutique-style shop, family-owned, with 2 hitting bays, all the major brands, and fully upgraded custom shafts. Come in for a full bag fitting. Trust me, there's nothing else like it around. Embers Golf, where your golf journey begins.
Samantha Flanagan here for Flanagan Law. Navigating personal injury claims on your own can feel like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. Don't let things fall apart. Protect your rights. Look for the Shamrock. Go with Flanagan Law. Online at flanagan.law.
Mike Evans here for Copperhead Plumbing. Your home doesn't have to flood before you know there's a problem. With the Mow and Flow Smart Water Shutoff System, you can monitor your home's water usage in real time right from your phone. You'll get notified the moment a leak starts. Trust Copperhead Plumbing for professional installation. Ask about installing a Mow and Flow system today.
Copperhead Plumbing, built to last. Call us once, you'll forget the past.
Copperhead Plumbing. They plumb different. They plumb custom.
Cake Mortgage Corp. Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 1734623. Licensed in Colorado by the Division of Real Estate. Terms and conditions apply. Are your bills keeping you up at night? Imagine using your home equity for a financial reset that helps you to finally get ahead again. At Cake Mortgage, we get it. Life's expensive. Insurance, groceries, and high-interest credit card debt. That's why we created the Cake Fast Cash Home Equity Program. Turn your home into your ATM without touching your existing mortgage rate. Cake Fast Cash is fast. Many clients close in 2 weeks. So call Cake today and pay down high-interest cards, free up cash, or fund home upgrades. And you only pay for what you use. Cake Mortgage. Your fresh-baked fast cash loan is ready to enjoy. Call 1-800-EAT-CAKE. That's 1-800-EAT-CAKE. Again, that's 1-800-EAT-CAKE or visit cakehome.com.
It's Denver Sports Tonight on Denver Sports Station 104.3 The Fan.
Broncos country loves the fact that this football team was finally able to move the ball on the ground against the Eagles. Yes, you've heard it by now, well documented. First 100-yard rusher of the Sean Payton era when J.K. Dobbins went for 101 against the Bengals. R.J. Harvey chipped in another 58. It was my column on Tuesday at DenverSports.com, Cello. Wrote it Tuesday night, ran Wednesday morning. About, it's not an identity yet because they've only done it one time. But if Sean can finally sort of stick with this and maybe run it with 7 exclamation points instead of 3 on his play sheet, the Broncos have a chance to be special. I assume you're like everyone else on these airwaves and in this market that you are thanking Sean Payton for finally running the football because what happened? Not only did they move it on the ground, but Bo Nix played better as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's give me another time where it looked like that. Maybe other than the first half in L.A. last year, where it looked like they were kind of clicking all around offensively before that game turned.
Do you remember who it was?
running the football?
Yeah.
In that game, was it Javonte?
It was Audric Estime.
Was it?
Yeah, small sample size of Estime actually looking effective.
Which, by the way,
that was his best game in a NFL uniform thus far, the first half against that Chargers team.
Javonte Williams, side note, looks like the Javonte Williams of yesteryear in Denver and Dallas this year.
Of his rookie season?
Which is kind of frustrating, but, I think most Bronco fans are pretty happy with J.K. Dobbins and the effort he's put forth so much to the point where you got to utilize him more. And this would be kind of one of those perfect games if you're having that type of success to do that. Something tells me, though, you're going to get close to that 35 to 40 attempts in the air.
Exactly, and that's why I thought it was interesting that Bo Nix today was asked about the running game. Specifically, felt like every time J.K. Dobbins gets the ball on first down, they get 5-6 yards, right? Mm-hmm. Just feels good. Sets up the drive for success, and Bo Nix felt the same way.
Well, it's massive because then you're in 2nd and 5, then you're in 3rd and manageable. Those first and second down runs are really important. And then I think at the end of the game when you're able to run the ball when the defense knows you're running it is important. That's how you put games away. That's how you win in 4 minutes. So that's one thing that we can grow on from the other night and, something that we're going to have to continue to do in the future. And so between JK and RJ and the rest of the backs, whoever's out there getting touches, I think they're going to be able to give us an explosive opportunity, give us chances to keep the chains moving and move forward.
Bo Nix calls it massive, being able to run the ball on first and second down, something the Broncos weren't able to do during his rookie season. Finally starting to get into their groove this year in his sophomore campaign. Cello, I think it's interesting. Let me ask you this. Who cares more about Bo Nix putting up big numbers? Bo Nix or Sean Payton?
It's probably Sean.
I think it's probably Sean.
It's probably Sean. I think Bo seems like a guy like, I'll do whatever I have to win.
Exactly, and I thought that answer today was pretty darn revealing. It's massive when we can run the ball. Takes the weight of the world off his shoulders. So everyone in Broncos country, everyone on this station, 99% of this fan base loves the fact they can run the ball. And guess who joined that huge, overwhelming majority today? The quarterback. Because you just heard the answer. The QB himself likes when they run the football. Hopefully that answer gets back to the head coach that, hey, Sean, you know whose feelings you're hurting when Bo doesn't get a throw 40 times? Not Bo's. Not Broncos country. Yours. Yeah. Your own feelings. You're only hurting your own feelings when you want to make Bo just launch.
Let me ask you this. Have you been happy with the personnel selections that Sean has had through the first 4 weeks of the season?
To a degree, sure. I still don't love as many substitutions as he's making. I wish he would just stick with his best players.
More at the core or more at the running back position? Is that what you're talking about? Because I think that's the one I think most of us are like, and he said it numerous times already, Sean Payton, that he likes the dual back approach. But, like, do we ever see McLaughlin? Does that little wrinkle get thrown in? Do you think it should have been? Or are you happy? Now that you see kind of the blueprint of what they did on Monday night, I think his opportunities even get lessened at that point.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he hasn't gotten a jersey yet this year. I
know, but at some point or another,
sailed.
I don't like they had one decent game running the football. It doesn't. I'm not saying that they have all the answers now.
No, I don't think they have all the answers, but you're asking me, do I love it? No, I don't love J.K. getting 16 carries and R.J. getting 14. I would like J.K. to get 20 to 25 carries and R.J. to get 8 to 10. I'm fine with McLaughlin getting 0. I'm fine with Bidet getting 0. The last thing we need is this 4-man wild rotation like we had last year. But I'm not a massive fan of this 50-50 split. I mean, J.K. Dobbins is the 4th best running back in the NFL, and he's barely touching the ball, it feels like. Why not just feed this dude? Why not give him 23 carries every single Sunday? That's, to the root of your original question, that's part of my problem with Sean. It's a little bit of a slice of cake for everyone.
I don't think you'll ever see it.
But this isn't a 5-year-old's birthday party. Not everyone deserves a slice of cake. You know how my cake gets divided? JK gets to eat 3/4 of it, and RJ can have the rest.
That'd be fair, but it doesn't seem like that's not the way he's ever really called anything. You know what I mean? It's like even, and maybe there's other factors that he's taking into account here, like the health and J.K. Dobbins not finishing an entire season. So if I can spell him, listen, Harvey didn't get a lot of run those first couple games in between. Not a lot of run at all.
He didn't.
So, like, I guess you could say you're kind of impressed in what we ended up seeing last week.
Impressed that he ran the ball more. Sure, I like getting 30 carries between those two.
In a close game, is it going to be split like that?
No, it's not. Because they're not sniffing 30 carries in a close game. They just aren't. In a close game, J.K. Dobbins is going to get 12 carries and R.J. Harvey's going to get 5.
Ooh.
And I don't have the box score in front of me from the Chargers or Colts game, but I bet that's pretty close to what it was. So that's where I hope that Sean...
And maybe that's the thing that keeps them from competing at the highest level then.
Exactly. And that's where I hope Sean listened to Bo today talking about how massive it is to get the run game established. Do you buy into this narrative as well that Bo has his whoopee with Cortland specifically in the red zone, or did you think based on the way the targets were divvied up last week, very evenly matched, Mims actually led the team in receptions, that Bo finally, and I don't say this as a knock because I get it, Cortland was the only vet when he really came in here. Do you think that Bo is finally not just always looking for 14? He's trying to spread the ball around a little bit more.
I think he's been pretty good for the first 2 years of his career so far.
Well, the targets for Cortland were pretty darn high last year.
I don't think he has. That could just because he gets open and he solidifies. Listen, he used Devon Vele a lot last year. He went to Troy Franklin a lot last year. I don't think he has.
It just didn't work.
I mean, anytime that you're supposed to be your number one receiver, you should be getting the most looks. I don't think it's a favoritism or that's his whoopee. We go Mr. Mom on it.
I think there was a little whoopee last year.
So, like, whenever he sees pressure, he just knows where Cortland is.
He's like, where's 14? I'm going to chuck it up, see if he can go make a play.
I don't really see all that. I mean, I get it. It's your number one receiver. They should be your kind of outlet. But I don't think it's, like, overwhelming.
Well, here was Bo Nick saying a lot of nice things about Cortland Sutton, specifically in the red zone today.
It's great. You know, experienced guy, understands defenses, understands space and time. He's got great body control. When it's one-on-one, you can, literally throw it up to him. You feel comfortable that he's going to come down with it. But he's just wise beyond his years. He's allows us to scheme him up. He's a smart football player, and, he's proven it time and time again. He forces teams to really take him away, and it's our job to get him open.
A lot of nice things. And I get it. Cortland is the number one guy, and Bo should say nice things. And Cortland's looked really good the last couple of years. I think he's finally healed up from that ACL that he tore all the way back in 2020. I'm not trying to knock Cortland Sutton. I'm not trying to knock Bo Nix. I'm just glad that against Cincinnati, the ball got distributed very evenly. Because in the passing game, I'm all for everyone getting their slice of cake. In the running game, I'd let the running back have it more.
You go to the 5-year-old's birthday then.
I'd let J.K. Dobbins have it more often than not. On the RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043. People reacting to what we've talked about over the last 40 minutes. Had to sneak this one in here. 7366. I went to the Oakland Coliseum with an orange Peyton Manning jersey, and I left early so I didn't get jumped. It was scary. That's Casey from up there in Greeley.
I would be probably the same. As much as I want to be like, people are understanding. You can go to an opponent's stadium. Would you do it in Kansas City?
Yeah.
I think there's a decent amount of people that make that trip.
Yeah,
So
I feel like I'd have
lone
support
wolf.
in Kansas City.
There's not a lot of people that are like, hey, we're going to the Philly Bronco game in Philly.
Don says, in Invincible, that blonde woman wore a Giants jersey into the Philly stadium. Come on, man. I don't know Invincible. I know the premise.
Vince Papale.
Mark Wahlberg and the great story of Vince, but I may have seen the movie 20 years ago. Do you have any context for me on this blonde woman wearing a Giants jersey into Philly stadium?
No, but I don't think if you're, one, a woman, two, I don't know if she's good looking or not, but I don't think people are like worried about that. If you're a dude doing it, you're probably going to get treated a little differently. That's just my take on it.
I think that's fair. And then Robert from Aurora says, the hardest job on the planet, guys, is playing corner opposite of PS2.
It's fair.
I get what he's saying, but I think Robert's response was both of us, I told, pick a defensive player you're watching that's not named Nick Manito, and we both settled on Riley Moss. And so Robert's sort of defending Riley Moss here of, hey, any other corner, Riley Moss or Jade Barron or anyone else, they're just going to get targeted. That's the nature of the beast.
It's a difficult spot, but you can't have those penalties, even early in that Cincinnati game. You got to get that eliminated. Man.
Yes. And every time Riley Moss has a moon ball thrown his way, I feel like I'm looking up and the guy's making a great catch or there's a flag. And I would like that to change, particularly starting this weekend against the Eagles. All right, we'll put a Bo Nix on this thing next.
Have Coach Prime and the Buffs established an unfortunate identity?
You know who the Colorado Buffaloes are? They're the Dallas Cowboys of college football. There's a lot of stories about them, and about 1% of them are actually about the football that's being played in between the half.
Oh, God. You know what that means then. Deion Sanders is the Jerry Jones of college football.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Dan Jacobs with Jacobs Law and 303 Law 4040. Did you know that I actually have some psychic abilities? Yep, had a new client come in the other day to get signed up, and she said, Dan, you know, they've already made me an offer. And I said, well, let me guess. It was $1,500. And her eyes got real big, and she said, Dan, how'd you know that? And I said, let me take another guess. When you said you weren't sure, they said, okay, we'll offer you the maximum amount allowed of like $3,500. The client couldn't believe what she was hearing. But let me let you know in a little secret. I'm not a psychic. I just know all of the insurance companies' dirty little tricks. They use these tricks to put pressure on you so they can get off the hook cheap. At 303 Law 4040, we're here to make sure that they play fair. We're going to make sure you get feeling better and the insurance companies pay what's right. Call us at any time. You can speak directly with me or my lovely wife, Kimberly. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303 Law 4040. That's 303-LAW-4040.
This March, Wendy's is fueling the madness with amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave's single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it.
Get it for $1. Dave's single, order the app. Dave's single, get it for $1. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer. Participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available in contiguous U.S. and Alaska.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com. Or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
What's going on, everybody? Philip Lindsay here. And last year, I went a little rogue and dropped a discount code from our friends at Hermes Worldwide. And you guys used it so much, they almost got mad at me. Well, I'm feeling a little spicy again this season. So I'm bringing it back, baby. You can get 30% off your ride to the game with Hermes Worldwide for your entire season. All you have to do is mention the code PL30. Again, mention PL30 when you book your luxury transportation to Empower Field. And contact Hermes Worldwide at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/DenverSports. Go Broncos!
You hear about tragedy all around the world. You ache. You say to yourself, I wish it was like the good old days. This is Glenn Jamron. I'm president of Alpine Bank, member FDIC. What can you, one person, do to make things better? Return to your core values. In your own home, your own neighborhood, at work, focus on caring about others. Making a change in this world starts with each of us, not on some world stage. It's like building a house. If you want your house to be strong, you start with a solid foundation. Otherwise, the house falls down. Know this, each of us is in total control of our own lives, nobody else. You can make your life whatever you wish. It starts and continues with committing to yourself. Let's make this the good old days. Alpine Bank, committed to Colorado, and you.
Cool nights are here and winter is on the way. Protect your home with the strength and beauty of Infinity by Marvin Windows from Gravina's Window Center of Littleton. This month only, save 25% on windows and 20% on James Hardy siding. With flexible financing, no interest options, and zero down. Upgrading has never been easier. Call today at 303-794-0490 or go to windowsforyourhome.com. Gravina's Window Center of Littleton, trusted by Colorado families for over 50 years.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Tune into Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Wednesdays at 9:15 to hear ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky break down Bo Nix and the Broncos every week during football season. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports Station 104.3 The Fan presents Denver Sports Tonight.
Alrighty, so who does Bo Nix remind us of amongst current NFL QBs? Cello, does a name come to mind? I know I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here, but if you had to give a comp to old Bo Nix, is there anyone playing in the league right now? You say, I see a little of this guy in him. I see a little of that guy in him that would be worthy of that comparison.
I think a lot of when we saw the match made between Sean Payton and Bo Nix, it's hard for me to not think of Drew Brees. Now, he's much more athletic, so there's probably another comp that I need to throw in there. But the style of which he's played even early in his career, I think that's of recent memory, and maybe it's just because of the tie with Sean Payton and the offense and kind of the way it looks. That's the one I'll go with.
All right, so you'll go with a legend of the game, Hall of Famer, one of the leading passers, touchdowns, yards of all time, that kind of stuff. Well, Vic Fangio earlier this week, Eagles defensive coordinator, our old cheeseburger, not suit-owning buddy, Vic Fangio.
Yes, the meatballs.
He compared old Bo to Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield. Now, if you had got that comparison like 3-4 years ago,
been like, ugh, I don't want to get compared to that guy. He's bouncing all over the place. Maybe has attitude issues, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I love it, man. Baker Mayfield's a top 10 QB in the NFL as we sit here today.
Especially over the last 2 seasons or season and a quarter so far.
Yeah, and Tampa's seamlessly transitioned from Brady to Baker.
Do you look at that as a knock or?
No, I look at it as a compliment. Again, a couple years ago, I'd been like, I don't love that. But I think Vic said that in terms of an endearing way. Like, I think Bo can be as good as Baker, and look at the yards last year. Wasn't Baker number 2 or 3 in the NFL? Like, Baker hucks the rock. Baker's tough as nails. Baker can use his legs. Baker puts up a lot of points. I got no problem with it at all. Now that I've given
you an MVP candidate so far,
an early one, sure. I mean,
so
Tampa's.
I know people are like, oh, that's not a great comp. I gave you mine. I can see similarities with Baker. I think body style is a little bit different. Maybe he's like a mix between Baker and Justin Herbert to me.
Ooh, does he have as good a cannon as old Justin?
But who would you comp him to?
I think Baker's about as good as it gets. I'll give Vic that in terms of the toughness, the grit, the ability to run the ball, no fear, and sling it into tight places. Maybe not the strongest rocket arm in the world, but can fit it into tight windows when needed. Bo Nix today asked about Vic Fangio comparing him to Baker Mayfield.
That's, Baker's playing at a high level. Anytime you get compared to a good competitor like that, it's great. But, at the same time, I'm just in my lane doing what I can do to help our team win. And, comparison sometimes the thief of all joy. So got to be careful.
I like
comparing to other people, or you'll miss what's right in front of you.
Comparison, the thief of all joy. I get what Bo's saying there. Like, if you sat here and you're like, oh, gosh, I wish I was Brad Pitt. Well, that's not really going to do you a lot of good. Not that you're not handsome and talented, but I think Brad Pitt is kind of in a different stratosphere than all the rest of us. I don't think Bo Nix minds what Vic said, but I also don't think he's striving to be Baker Mayfield. I think he's striving to be Bo Nix.
That's what I think's kind of cool and underrated about that player in Bo Nix, is that I don't think you're not going to get any of the cheese that you got with Russell Wilson or even Drew Lock to a certain extent. He's not Buzz Lightyear-ing it on the sidelines, right?
Yeah.
He's just there to compete, which we have not seen for a long time here. And it's welcoming. And I think people thought we were going to expect that he'd be off to a better start, but I still think, dude, it's a pretty damn good start even as it is this season. I know a lot of people were trying to criticize him and how he needs to be better, especially early. But hell, if that's as bad as it's going to get and it can only kind of get better from here, you're in good hands with that guy. And his outlook, by the way, I've never heard that uttered before. Comparison, the thief of all joy. I'm going to steal it.
I think it's good. It's good. Yeah, I like it. The only thing I'd give you pushback on is he can't throw the pick against the Colts. Part of the reason they lost. And he can't miss 3 deep balls against the Chargers. Big reason why they lost.
Yes.
I mean, those are the 4 throws I'll isolate. Horrible pick against the Colts when he could have gotten a field goal. And then if he hits Mims on either of those 2 long balls, they're touchdowns. If he hits Sutton on the long ball, it's either a touchdown or they're in field goal range to win the football game. They could be 4-0 if Bo Nix had made a couple throws in key moments.
The inexplicable one, and one that just can never happen, is the one against Cincinnati. Now, they got away with it. They got the ball back real quick, and they're able to drive and score before the half. But you can't put that ball there. You know you're getting points.
But it was also 4th down.
Yeah, but no, that happened on 4th down?
Yeah, because 3rd down was the tomfoolery and the wildcat crap.
Yes, my bad.
So 4th down, you either throw a pick or a touchdown or not get a field goal.
Yeah.
I agree with you. The throw was bad, but the worst was Sean on 3rd down being like, look how smart I am.
That's fair.
Here's R.J. Harvey taking the football. Real quick, 10 seconds or less. Who wins? Broncos, Eagles? Give me a score.
Broncos keep it competitive, but I think they lose 24-21.
Ooh, another heartbreaker. I will go with the Eagles 31, but I'll get the Broncos up to 20. 31-20 Philly. Hope I'm wrong. For Dante and Cello, I'm Will. It's DST on the Fan.
Has a Broncos wide receiver already proven that they're worth every penny?
To all the people that said, re-signing Cortland, too much money, he's not a real number one, not a true, quote-unquote number one, whatever that really means. He's been a huge, huge positive for Bo Nix and Bo Nix's development. He's a pro.
Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
This is Jeff for Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Greg.
Hi, my name is Greg. I've been a patient of Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic for over 10 years. I noticed that I was really tired. I was lethargic. I didn't sleep really well, and I was overweight. My waist was 4 inches over what it should have been. It was really difficult for me to lose the body shape I didn't like.